Hi everyone, Andy Davis here again from Master of Voice, a channel with reactions to performers from across the world. In this episode, it's going to be a bit different as we wrap up the year 2019. I've had my channel just over 4 months. I believe we're a couple of days over 4 months now. And I thank you all so much for the support you've already given me in these first 4 months to jumpstart my channel. You know, when I put up my first video, I wasn't sure if anyone would be interested in the things I have to say. You just never know when you're starting a new venture in life how things will go. So I jumped in, I learned a bit of the background of editing and things of that nature, which kind of held me up at first. It's a bit intimidating when you don't know the technology as well as you think you should to put yourself out there. And there are so many good reactors, good voice teachers, other great reactors as well. And I just wasn't sure how I would do. So I'm glad I jumped in, and I'm glad you all received me with open arms, welcomed me, and now support me through what we're doing. But I basically started my journey with a reaction of Pentatonics. I had just been to one of their concerts, and I love them. But shortly thereafter, I discovered a singer from Kazakhstan, Dimash, and I learned of a competition show called The Singer in China, where they invite performers that are already into their careers. And that season, back in 2017, they had invited a wild card participant from Kazakhstan, the awesome and talented Dimash, and I jumped in with his songs and all his performances on that competition show and became a deer, which is what he calls his fans, and then went on to react to one full concert of his, Bestow. And out of all those performances, one song stood out to me, and we're going to take a quick peek into that today. He performed it on The Singer. Actually, the original singer, Han Hong, performed it on that show, and I reacted to her version of it. But this is a little clip of Dimash singing Daybreak at his Bestow concert. Let's jump in and take a look at that. He sang this so well at this concert. The backstory of this song is just heartbreaking. Wow. He is pouring it out in this version. Wow. Wow. I know. So impressive. I was emotional here because my mother was sick. Oh my goodness, you guys. The lyrics get me every time, but Dimash is singing this so well right now. If you'll recall, back when I reacted to this from the Singer series, is the day he had vocal issues. And that was really an emotional day for me. Of course, he was in great voice, as I said there. And this song just, wow, it's one of my favorites. You know, so many of these songs are brand new to me since I've started this channel. This is one of my favorites from the original Singer, and Dimash does it so very well. He's a great singer. I'm a deer, but this particular song gets me. I was able to visit home just after I filmed this video, see my mom in the hospital. She actually got out of the hospital while I was there. She is recovered so well and is doing well. And I thank you all for the outpouring of support you gave me during that time. It meant a lot to me. Wow. Let's move on now. Learning of Dimash and his performances on The Singer then showed me so many new performers from literally across the world, but especially there in the Asian region. And one that has stood out to me and that I've reacted to several of his songs, I've become a fan with so many of you, a Martian, if you will, is Watching You. He has such great songs. He's an awesome performer on the stage. But one of the songs that stood out to me as a new fan of his was the song Nunchucks, because he adds so many different elements in so many of his songs. But this song seemed to capture several of them at one time in one song. So let's take a look at a bit of this song. This was a bit of Peking opera that he added into this cool song about martial arts. Look at him.
So cool.
This song makes me smile. I love it. But you'll see, there's some very different singing coming up. The rap. This is some rock. I love it.
He's so good.
I love this song. I just enjoyed that performance so much. But he has so many great performances, and a lot more that we're going to react to in the future. I know some of you are eager to hear my reactions of some of his new songs, so I'm excited to get there. But another one of my favorite singers from The Singer competition, so well done, but I could name so many on that list. Jessie J, Tinger. I had a fun reaction to him, an emotional reaction to his song that I reacted to on there. KZ, even Sandy Lamb, the winner from Dimash's season. There's just so much good on there that I could continually react to The Singer and not get through them all. We're not finished with any of those seasons. I want to react to several of them in the future. Of course, a month or so into my channel, a famous Mexican singer, an iconic singer, had just passed away here in Florida, Jose Jose. And so I heard about that on the news and decided to look up a few of his songs. And before I heard them, though, realized that he was such a great singer that I wanted just to start reacting to them. So I chose one of his most known songs to start with. This is El Triste, when he was on a competition back in the early 70s, I believe 1970, and really made a name for himself. And I was blown away by his voice and this particular song. Let's give a listen to just a bit of it.
Qué triste, todos dicen que soy, que siempre estoy hablando de ti.
His voice is so smooth.
No saben que pensando en tu amor, he podido ayudarme a vivir.
Oh, a little cry in his voice there. I love it. His voice is so good.
Those are his competitors up front.
And they're just throwing all these flowers at him. It was just so well done. I was so impressed with him.
Hoy quiero saborear mi dolor. No pido compasión ni piedad.
He was so very talented. The world lost such an excellent talent when he passed away. And I know so many of you were sad to hear that. And I was thrilled to start with this reaction. And I have reacted to more of his. And I will react to more in the future. I love his voice. It's in that crooner style, as I explained, which I'm particularly fond of. The one cover I have of me singing is actually in that more Rat Pack, jazz standard genre of singing. I love him and I love his voice. But then I was getting so many requests for other Latin music singers and performers, and so I decided to jump right in, and wow, the reception has been overwhelming from those of you that enjoy these performers, and I have become a fan of all of them. Such excellent voices and passionate, emotional performances. One of the first I started out with after Jose Jose was Juan Gabriel and his haunting tribute song that's played at so many memorials and funerals, Amor Eterno.
Obligo a que te olvide el pensamiento, pues siempre estoy pensando en el ayer.
His
You can hear
voice.
the cry in his voice.
I love his voice.
De tanto y tanto que me duele que no estés, como quisiera
And then the crowd comes in.
que tú vivieras, que tus ojitos jamás se hubieran cerrado nunca y estar mirándolos, amor eterno.
He's so great at this. But later in this video, the audience actually sings the song with him, or actually in place of him. They know it so well, it touches them so much.
Quisiera
They're singing with, they know it so well and love it. Oh,
This touched me so much.
oh my gosh. Look at him. He knows. They've all felt grief, and he understands that in this performance, and he knows that his song has helped them through hard times, obviously.
I totally still agree with that, especially through the comments that you all give me that, you know, when you saw my reaction, that so many of the comments say, I'm crying, this song makes me cry, I can't watch this entire reaction because this song just, you'd feel the pain, the past pain that you have experienced with the death of a loved one, especially your mother, as you all explained to me. Oh, goodness. And then that led to you all requesting one of the more famous singers of this particular song. He had written it, but Rocio Dacal, one of his favorite muses that he wrote so many songs for, had actually made this song maybe more famous in the eyes of so many fans. They just heard her version more. And so I was thrilled to react to it as well. But it was so touching at the same time. Her voice is just so beautiful, though. Such beautiful lyrics for such a beautiful and gorgeous but heart-wrenching song. Definitely.
guys. I love when she opens up into that wider, taller vowel. And now pulling back in the dynamics. Her voice is so lush. Beautiful tone quality. Floated up nicely into a head voice quality there for a moment. Beautiful. And I've gotten so many nice comments about that reaction as well. Such a beautiful song. Wow, check out those full reactions if you haven't done so. Of course, along the way, I've been trying to bounce around the world. There are some regions I haven't been able to dive into just yet, but Asia is not one of them, and the other parts of that region. And from Korea, one of my favorites now is Sohoo-young. And in this reaction was my first reaction to her, and it just really touched me so much. And now, every reaction I've done to her, I've just become such a fan. Let's take a quick peek at this reaction, though. A traditional folk hymn there. Something gets me about people singing along with the artist. You can tell here, I get emotional. They're singing with her. She's so good. Wow! Yes! Oh my goodness. You guys, if you haven't seen that reaction, please look at that full version and every other reaction I have to hers. I'm going to be having Spanish translations to those in the future because I do know I have so many Spanish-speaking subscribers at this point. That lady is phenomenal. Wow, I love her. And of course, keeping in that region of the world, there are so many Filipino artists that have impressed me, and especially these that sit down on this wish bus. You all have explained now that sitting and singing in the Philippines is just second nature to you. You do it at home, you do it at karaoke, out as a family or with friends, and it's just very natural to you. At first, it was shocking to me because sometimes that's not aiding your breath management and your breath support. These singers have no trouble. And one that really shocked me doing so was Marcelito Pomoy and The Prayer. Let's take a peek into this reaction.
When we lose our way.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm a little bit in shock. I've heard a lot of singers with a lot of wide ranges since I've started this channel, but wow, this is so impressive already.
Lead us to our place, guide us with your grace.
Such a beautiful head voice here, a countertenor quality, if you will.
La luce che tu dai,
I pray we'll find your light
nel cuore
Amazing.
resterà,
in hold within our hearts.
a ricordarci che
The stars go out each night.
eterna stella sei.
What is happening here? I know that he must have a huge range, but his ability to jump back and forth between the sounds is just shocking me right now.
It still shocks me. And this performance, I even get a little emotional at the end of it. The prayer is such a beautiful song. But he threw me for a loop singing both parts. Of course, another artist that impressed me so much, I have several reactions to her when she was on The Voice of the Philippines, and now she has an excellent career, but she also has some wish bust performances, and this particular one, heavily requested by so many of you that are fans of hers and live in that area of the world and worldwide. Even here in the U.S., some of you were requesting that I react to Akin Kanalong and Morissette Amon. Holy moly, you guys.
Akin ka na lang, akin ka na lang, ang dinadasal sa araw-araw.
Oh, I love that signature crack in her voice that she gives us.
Akin ka na lang,
She is a great singer.
at maghihintay hanggang akin ka na
Whoa!
I knew it was coming. Oh.
Oh my goodness. She just went up into a whistle register there, Mariah Carey style, if you will.
Oh, listen to her if you haven't, folks. My reactions to her are just her in general, and I'm going to have way more of her in the future. I love her voice so much. Wow. Of course, some of my most viewed reactions are two gentlemen, iconic performers from the country of Mexico. I have already discussed Juan Gabriel. The other is the Vicente Fernandez, Chente, as you all call him sometimes. And I just, wow, he impresses me so much. And we're going to have more of him as well. But one of the reactions really stood out to so many of you and me as well. Let's take a peek.
Horn. And the strings.
Acá entre nos, quiero que sepas la verdad. No te he dejado de adorar allá en mi triste.
Singing along, you know I love it.
I love this song and him.
Acá entre nos,
Great dynamic control here.
siempre te voy a recordar. Y hoy que a mi lado ya no estás, no queda más que confesar que ya no puedo soportar, que estoy odiando.
It doesn't even need the mic.
He doesn't even need a microphone here. Just put it down and bellow to the audience. That shows his star quality right here.
And I've reacted to others of his, but there's more coming. But the ones I've done have been so well received, and I appreciate those of you that are fans of his, and I'm eager to see so much more from his younger years up into current times. Such a great performer. Of course, you all are giving me tons of names, and I hope to react to them in the future. But I am so impressed with all of these singers from across the world, and I hope you will go and check out some of my most popular videos of singers from your area, or always leave me in the comments of some of my more recent videos, artists that you want me to hear from your region or your country. I hope to react to so many of them in 2020 and make it such a great year, especially listening to performers from regions that I haven't heard so far. Before this video goes on too long, I do want to answer a few questions that were presented to me on the community page of the channel. If If you all haven't joined me there, take a look. And on the About page of the channel has my social media, a link to my new newsletter that I'm starting. But several of you submitted questions and I wanted to answer a few of them. Several of them ask about me singing, and I do want to present more of my singing to you in the future. I do have a cover up of me singing, one of the earliest videos on the channel, and several of you have given me such positive feedback and praise there, and thank you for that. I appreciate that, those kind words so much. Another question from Eric asked, my question is, do you like imperfections in people's voices? I do. I really feel that's what makes them a unique singer. You know, I was trained classically at university, and we work to rid ourselves of imperfections. And while I love art singing, classical singing, I do want to react to some opera, some musical theater. Even within those genres, it's at times the imperfections of those singers that make those singers unique. And that is especially true in popular music, no matter what genre it is. Whether it be differences in vowel placement, little cracks in the voice here and there, maybe some unique tone quality that certain singers give us, that's what makes them them. And I believe that's so important to performers. And Juan asked, when did you discover your love for singing and music and how? I actually grew up in a pretty musical family. My father was a professional guitarist. My mother actually sang in the band just a bit, but my father performed in bands with my uncles and then in his own bands with other groups of people in my home area in Northwest Alabama. I grew up going to his rehearsals and just loved music from an early age. I actually started in music, though, playing the trumpet in my school's beginner band program and worked my way up to play through my maybe 8th grade year. And then I transferred to a school that didn't have a band. And it was there that I started to learn more about my singing capabilities and my love of singing, and got on the stage for the first time actually through a church service and then at school. And my community there in Northwest Alabama, the Bell Green community, just fostered my love and my confidence in singing. And I actually performed at several talent shows and sort of did the competition show circuit there in my home region. And it really gave me the confidence to go on to university and study to become a choral director and then a voice teacher through graduate school. Another question was, what's on my playlist, or what do I like? So many of these artists have really inspired me to branch out and explore other genres of music from so many different countries now. And I love so many of these artists now. But, before I started this channel, I really had an eclectic interest in music. Of course, when I perform solo, maybe karaoke or something, I enjoy the crooner style of singing and more of the jazz standards. But I also love musical theater. I love a lot of different musicals and shows of that genre and love singing a lot of that music. I was classically trained at university, though, and also enjoy some opera, some art song from way back in the day in other countries of the world. But you'll also catch me listening to a lot of songs from the late 70s, 80s, and the early 90s, because that's when I was growing up in school and in college, and I love even rock, rap, R&B, hip-hop, country of that era. I just really love those years of music. It's sort of nostalgic for me growing up, and I really enjoy those. Another person has asked me what celebrity I would actually like to date, and I don't really know, that's hard to answer, but others have asked me my background as far as do I date anyone. I do have a partner. I'm happily partnered of 5.5 years, and thrilled to move into the new year in a relationship now with a YouTube channel, and I still also do some media work through freelance work for companies all over the globe. And so my plate is full with a lot going on. But and some of you have said I look like Cam from Modern Family, and so that's a compliment. He's such a funny guy. I believe he's a British actor.
And so many of you have also given me such great comments. Some of the things that stand out to me are how so many of you say certain Latin music reactions that I've given. The artists make you think of cleaning house when you're a youngster. Several of you have commented on my plants that they make you think of your Mexican mother or grandmother. So those are fun. Also, so many comments about drinking tequila with Vicente Fernandez and his songs, or just having a good time and a party in general. So, those comments have made me laugh. I've gotten so many positive comments, thousands upon thousands, but then there are the negative comments as well. Everything from referring to my weight and are you really a voice teacher, and just negativity, or you chose the wrong song. I know sometimes that isn't necessarily a negative comment, but it just makes me think, they don't appreciate what I did actually put out there. But I'm still in a learning process with all this, trying to be a YouTuber and take it all in and not get discouraged by the negativity, and just live in the eons of positivity that you all are giving me and the love you give me. I just appreciate you all so very much. I hope you enjoyed this video. It is a bit different. And I am eager to wrap up 2019, even though I was just at it for a few months, and move into a full year of Master of Voice, the channel with reactions to performers from across the world with you all. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, and I hope you have a great new year.